Well, it's that time of the week when we go out to the other coast of the United States and check in with Michael Snyder and find out what's happening with movies. Hello, Michael.
Hi, Alex, and hey, greetings from Hollywood, where sometimes you're played a hand that isn't necessarily a winner. In other words, maybe the movies aren't the greatest, but, you know, I'm here to lay down my cards and tell you what I think of them. Let's kick things off with Dark Phoenix, the fourth X-Men prequel movie with James McAvoy as young Professor Xavier, leader of Marvel Comics' plucky but feared and hated band of mutant superheroes. Michael Fassbender as Xavier's frenemy Magneto, master of magnetism, and Jennifer Lawrence as shapeshifter Mystique, given much more prominence in these movies than the character had in the original X-Men trilogy when Xavier was played by Patrick Stewart and Magneto was played by Ian McKellen. So did we really need a fourth X-Men prequel film from Fox after that earlier trilogy that now seems like an entirely different timeline, not to mention the three Wolverine movies with Hugh Jackman, who had been a part of both timelines, and most of the 7 X-Men group movies. I don't know. In any case, Dark Phoenix is the last of these X-Men movies from Fox under their deal with Marvel. Now that Fox has been absorbed by Disney, which basically owns Marvel Studios, home of their expansive cinematic universe. And the big question is, did it have to be a remake of the Phoenix saga, already mishandled in the third original X-Men movie, The Last Stand? Reboots, redos, reruns. Now we see young telekinetic Jean Grey encounter the fiery celestial Phoenix Force while on a space shuttle rescue mission with the X-Men here in the early 1990s. By absorbing just all of this cosmic energy, Jean becomes a near omnipotent threat to her fellow mutants, not to mention all life on Earth, and hell, the entire cosmos, unless she controls her emotions. As in the previous and equally dull, misbegotten X-Men movie Apocalypse, Jean is played by Sophie Turner, who was Sansa on Game of Thrones, instead of the older model played by Famke Janssen in the original movie version of The Phoenix Tale. For God's sake, why are they doing this again? Nicholas Hoult, most recently seen in Tolkien as the fantasy author, plays Hank McCoy the Beast. Other young actors play other mutants. McAvoy, Fassbender, and Lawrence hit their marks. And Jessica Chastain is on board, sort of, as the purported villain of the film, an alien shapeshifter, yes, another shapeshifter, who wants to wrest the Phoenix Force from Jean and use it for nefarious purposes. We are told next to nothing about who Chastain is, what her alien race wants, how she and her comrades got there. In fact, the script doesn't really give anyone in its all too numerous cast any depth or personality or purpose. The dialogue is leaden. The action pieces are perfunctory, except for some teleportation tricks by the elfin Nightcrawler. They should have quit after the prequels 1 and 2, First Class and Days of Future Past. I mean, the Avengers movies, which are even more crowded with characters and plot twists, breeze along with coherence and wit compared to this. I say give Dark Phoenix a pass. The Secret Life of Pets 2 is upon us. In 2016, there was an animated movie called The Secret Life of Pets and showed what went on with a passel of big city animals when their owners were away. It had narrative punch because it imagined what, say, a complacent dog would do if its owner brought home a second dog. And in that case, it was a big and sloppy mutt who takes attention from the first dog. A challenge to the friendly order of the neighborhood pets brings the rivals together with wit and lively energy and big box office results. So, you're going to make a sequel and bring these animals back. Max, voiced by Patton Oswalt, being the lead pet, if you will. So I don't know. Here, the two rival dogs, who are now friends, have to react to their owner marrying and having a child. But that was not enough. So the family goes off on vacation to a relative's farm where they meet a together sheepdog voiced by, of all people, Harrison Ford, while their friends back in the hood end up involved in a caper with a traveling circus, an evil ringmaster, and an abused Siberian tiger. I mean, this has got the Secret Lives pedigree, if you will, but the first movie was bracing and lively and tried to put its lead characters in something more resembling genuine urban life wherein their challenges were more plausible than what we have here. It's a cartoon. The animal character storylines diverge early in this new film, and the twin story strands seem disassociated. Eventually, things dovetail, but the episodic nature of the activities and certain absurd elements, even in the context of depicting animals talking amongst themselves, seem over the top. Fun, not terrible, but again, it falls short compared to its predecessor. All right, a better movie, and yet not greatness, would be Late Night. It's a behind-the-scenes at a late-night TV talk show comedy, written by co-star Mindy Kaling, who plays a novice TV comedy writer, a woman of color, nominally hired for quota reasons to bring a little new blood to a long-running female-hosted late-night program suffering from a ratings decline. The movie is not bad, mostly thanks to Emma Thompson playing the host, a middle-aged British woman who turned her early stand-up career into a stepping stone that landed her stardom on American TV. That has loads of potential, especially in these times, although the resulting movie is very formula. You can see the story beats and dramatic turns and somewhat romantic frisson here and there, and some of the comedy barreling down the Great White Way and coming to rest outside a fictional equivalent of the Ed Sullivan Theater. There are some funny moments, but it often strains to reach them, even if Kaling is on the laconic, self-deprecating side. Her shtick, which means it's her comfort zone. She's likable. Thompson works hard with what she has, but what she has doesn't give her that much to work with. It's as sharp and insightful and funny as, like, an episode of the Inside TV series episodes. I would rent episodes rather than watch this or I don't know. It's not bad. Kaling, again, maybe she's an acquired taste. She's good here. And Emma Thompson is a dream. But moving along to the final movie in our quartet here, Framing John DeLorean. I was intrigued when I heard about it and heard that it would star Alec Baldwin as the real-life auto mogul and Morena Baccarin as his supermodel wife, Christina Ferrara. DeLorean was the man who introduced the successful Pontiac GTO muscle car to General Motors, rose through the executive ranks in that company, and then left to design the famed DeLorean sports car that would be at the center of a remarkable rise and fall, and would be a major plot point in the Back to the Future movies. Remember the DeLorean that travels through time? Anyway, Framing John DeLorean is not a typical biopic, nor is it a standard docudrama. It's a documentary with dramatic recreations. And if that sounds a little chintzy or cable TV for your tastes, be advised that it feels rather original in its approach, as archival footage is mixed with interviews with real people involved in the DeLorean story, including colleagues and his now adult kids, and dramatic sequences that on occasion break the fourth wall, as Baldwin and Baccarin are seen getting made up or speaking to the camera right before shooting a scene. DeLorean's story, including the drug deals, an FBI sting, financial misdeeds that bring down the business and upend his family life, all of that is compelling, and Framing John DeLorean dots I's and crosses T's in the telling, even if it seems at first like a bait-and-switch situation with the cast. What are you up to, buddy? What are you watching?
Nothing. But
Nada?
We have some kind of slapback from you. I don't know. We're getting some kind of sound there. Anyway,
Yeah.
No, nothing really. All I recommend is what I have been recommending. I don't know if I actually recommended these, but the two best shows, I think, of television shows of the year. Chernobyl, which is incredible.
Brilliant.
And Fosse Verdon, which I think is two of the best acting jobs of the year. So anyway, that's my little hint to everybody. So.
Cool. Well, I agree with you on both cases, and you can check me out on Twitter at Culture Blaster, on Facebook at Michael
Well, let me start the theme, okay?
Yeah,
Jeez.
Snyder's Culture Blast page, and here on GABNet.
You're in a rush to get out of here. Jeez almighty. Anyway, that's it for tonight, or for today, for this time. Stay tuned for more GABNet coming right up, and Mike will be back with us again next week. Thank you very much, Michael.